Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really interesting things to go over. A new Mega Evolution event has been announced for next week. We also have a massive Pokemon Presents rumor to go over, some Nintendo updates, some new Pokemon events, loads of stuff to go over. If you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's quickly go over some brand new Pokemon events. We have a new summer event in Pokemon TCG Pocket. It's definitely worth doing because you get up to 60 pack hourglasses for completing every mission. So we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, Pokemon TCG Pocket has begun the summer event missions, adding a new display board into the game. So these are the missions that you can complete. So want to pick 3 and 5 times for 24 Wonder Hourglasses. Participate in 3 and 5 battles for another 24 pack hourglasses. If you use pack stamina to open 5 booster packs and 10 booster packs, you get 150 trade tokens. Trade 1 time for 100 trade tokens. Collect 50 and 100 cards for 12 more pack hourglasses. Send a thanks for 24 trade hourglasses. And then if you complete 2, 5, and 8 missions, you'll get 9 card frame and then 24 more pack hourglasses. So yeah, definitely worth doing because you basically get 5 packs just for completing some very easy missions. The hardest one to do is really just trade 1 time, but you only have to complete 8 of the missions to get all the hourglasses, so it's not even that much of an issue. So that's the Pokemon TCG Pocket update. Next up, we have a new mini Pokemon Presents announcement for Pokemon Sleep, I guess. We've got Cerebi tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, Pokemon Sleep will give a special 1.5 drowsy power boost on July the 21st to commemorate the Pokemon Presents on July the 22nd. So just a mini sort of like present celebration there in Pokemon Sleep. And then as well as that, for Pokemon Go, we have this update. So we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the Pokemon Go Adventure Week event has been revealed. This runs from the 29th of July at 10 a.m. to August the 3rd at 8 p.m. local time. It adds Toad School into the game. So yeah, Toad School is going to be an available option during this Adventure Week for Pokemon Go. But either way, those are the latest Pokemon events and announcements. Moving on, let's talk about a new Mega Evolution event starting next week. It actually starts after the Pokemon Presents. So if there is a Mega Evolution revealed at the Pokemon Presents, I'd be surprised if it wasn't like promoted more at this event as well, because it is literally a Mega Evolution event. Anyway, we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the Pokemon Company International is to have a booth at San Diego Comic-Con International 2025 from the 24th of July, which is next Thursday, 2 days after the Pokemon Presents, through to the 27th of July with activities themed around Mega Evolution. So obviously we have Mega Ampharos here kind of promoting it. They're not gonna kind of promote it with a new Mega Evolution now before they've revealed anything. But yeah, with a event that's surrounding Mega Evolutions, you'd expect that if a new one gets revealed on Tuesday, that they are going to kind of show that at this event. So we might get some more like key artwork for it. Let's say Mega Dragonite gets revealed or something like that. It'd be really cool if, yeah, we got more artwork and maybe even a little bit more gameplay footage or something like that. There's actually a pretty good sort of reward system for this Mega Evolution event as well. This was tweeted out by El Chico Eevee, saying, once you've completed your Mega Evolution experience, booth visitors can keep the rewards rolling in Pokemon TCG Live, Pokemon TCG Pocket, Pokemon Unite, and Pokemon Masters EX when you sign up for the email updates on site. So by opting in, you'll later receive an email for the following in-game rewards. So definitely worth doing if you're playing any of these games, and obviously you are going to San Diego Comic-Con. But you get 4,000 trainer points for Pokemon TCG Live. You get 24 pack hourglasses. So that's 2 packs for Pokemon TCG Pocket. Remember, there is going to be a new set announced during that Pokemon Presents, which is coming out on the 30th of July. So you're going to want as many pack hourglasses as you can get, so you can open as many packs as you can. And then also a Platinum Mewtwo boost emblem and a 3-day limited license for Mega Mewtwo X or Mega Mewtwo Y for Pokemon Unite. And then as well as that, in Pokemon Masters EX, you can get 3,000 gems. So that's just signing up for the email alerts or updates on site. So it's definitely worth doing. And then just like unsubscribe or something if you don't want all the email alerts or whatever. But yeah, you get loads of rewards for loads of different games. Whether you play Unite, Masters, Pocket, or TCG Live, you get a pretty good, I guess, reward for it. But yeah, I mean, look, this is potentially going... I don't think there's going to they're going to reveal a new Mega Evolution at this, obviously, because it's 2 days after the Presents. But I think if one does get revealed during the Presents, I think that this is a pretty good place for them to kind of show it off a little bit more. Like, say, if it's Mega Dragonite or something on those lines, which a lot of people think is going to get revealed, then yeah, I think this would be a really cool event to show it off a little bit more. But either way, that is the new Mega Evolution event starting next week. I think if you're in San Diego and you're going to Comic-Con, then obviously it's definitely worth visiting this booth. Moving on, we have a Nintendo update to go over. This was posted by Game Rant saying Nintendo leadership addresses the rising costs of video game development, noting that it has a plan to make games more quickly. So Nintendo has a plan to tackle the rising costs of video game development and potentially start making select titles, should I say, move more quickly. So the company's leadership said, however, details on the matter are currently slim, should I say, and the only thing that's certain is that the mysterious plan won't be applicable to all future Nintendo games. So the length of game development cycles has historically grown in stages. Until the mid-1990s, what was considered a big-budget game was typically completed within 1 or 2 years, as with the Elder Scrolls Arena. The transition from 2D to 3D graphics in the late 1990s extended typical development time to around 3 years. The PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 generation marked the first era in which AAA titles regularly took more than 3 years to complete, sometimes up to 5. Today, a 5-year development cycle is considered the minimum for most AAA titles, with a few exceptions such as From Software games that rely heavily on reused assets. So during a recent Q&A session with shareholders, Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa basically fielded a question about the state of affairs, framed as a big sort of picture concern that the Switch 2's significantly greater power compared to its predecessor could lead to higher game development costs, increased software prices, and ultimately, and counterintuitively, a decrease in the gaming population. The executive confirmed that Nintendo is currently making the necessary investments for more efficient development, thus reiterating a pledge he made around this time last year. However, Furukawa also provided a bit more detail on the matter, more than is typical for a shareholder Q&A setting. So basically said, we also believe it is possible to develop game software with shorter development periods that still offer consumers a sense of novelty. We see this as one potential solution to the concern about rising development costs and software prices, and we will explore it from various angles within the company. So what does this really mean for Pokemon? Because people are already kind of annoyed that Pokemon don't spend long enough on their games. So now that Nintendo have come out and said, you know, they're going to be basically spending shorter time on these games, it's not really what you want to hear. But at the end of the day, remember, Pokemon games do get started on much earlier than they're announced. Like, I'm pretty sure they're working on Generation 11 right now, or at least coming up with ideas and stuff, and Generation 10's not even out yet. It's the same for, like, the next Legends game. Like, they're going to have a timeline, so obviously Legends is this year, Gen 10 next year, potentially Gen 10 DLC the year after that, with maybe Generation 5 remakes. Like, they have a timeline of what they're going to be bringing out. So yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if they haven't already started work on these future games. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but yeah, obviously we don't want to be waiting like 4 years every Pokemon game, because it's just not going to be great. And then also it says Nintendo could be returning to AA games, saying as the transitions from 2D to 3D and from 3D to HD graphics demonstrated, asset creation has long been one of the biggest bottlenecks in game development. The higher the visual feel, the fidelity, the longer AAA games where consumer expectations are highest take to produce. Furukawa's comments could be therefore interpreted as a hint that Nintendo may shift more focus towards AA titles in the future. Until the mid-2000s, the company regularly invested in several such franchises, including Excite, Box Boy, and Pushmo. AA games declined in popularity among... it's just some AA stuff there. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting what has been spoken about here. I don't think it's anything to worry about, but it is definitely pretty interesting that obviously Nintendo have kind of come out with this statement here. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I wouldn't be worried about games looking worse or anything if they have like shorter development cycles. I'm sure that, you know, they are still going to be hopefully top-notch and stuff. But either way, that's the Nintendo update that I wanted to go over. Finishing things off for today's video, we have a pretty big Pokemon Presents rumor to go over. There's a lot stacked in this. Generation 10, ZA, loads of stuff about the mobile games. Obviously, it was posted on 4chan, so take it with a massive grain of salt. It was posted on the 14th of July. It says, Pokemon Presents July the 22nd leak. Pokemon Plus and Minus is real. So it says, I have some information about the Presents coming up. I have two sources who told me slightly different things, so take it with a bit of salt. So, Pokemon Champions. So, Trainer Pass, which is a battle pass, unlock player clothes and items like hairstyles, face paint, earrings, banner art, online profile picture, and even battle items. You get trainer experience by battling online and winning battles. Depending on your end of week ranking online, you will get a bonus experience boost, and then also 151 levels in the battle pass, obvious call to Generation 1 Pokédex. Single player story chapters will be available and sold separately. I don't know if that's a good idea. These will be bite-sized stories that end up with you battling a legendary trainer from stories past. You can battle online and locally, obviously. Unranked, ranked, and gym modes available. Gym mode will be a mode where you can set up your character with any team you want. Has to be a mono-type team and upload it online for others to battle. The more your trainer wins, the more bonuses you get, like having your Pokemon as a gym in Pokemon Go. And then it says Pokédex monthly rotation. It says you'll be able to transfer all 1,000 plus Pokemon from home into Champions, but they'll be untrained and will lose some moves that aren't compatible anymore. I don't think all Pokemon are going to be available in Champions from the get-go. I definitely think it's going to be something that they kind of gradually release. Obviously, with like the new Mega Evolutions in Legends ZA, they're going to gradually release those as well, because we're assuming every single gimmick is going to be in this game. But yeah, it says Pokédex monthly rotation to keep the competitive game fresh. They'll rotate Pokemon in and out of competitive. Unranked is not affected by this. So yeah, you're going to have like, I don't know, 600 odd Pokemon. And this is saying that they're going to rotate those out. So it's not the exact same team you're going to see every single time. And then it says some single story chapters will let you unlock rare Pokemon. So that's, I guess, pay to win maybe, because obviously you have to buy the single stories. That's what was said earlier. Shiny Pokemon will have a different shine animation depending on which game they were caught in. That'll be interesting. You'll need NSO to play online, obviously. Version battles will take place online. This will be like Splatfest-like event where you go choose a team like red or blue, black or white, X or Y, and whichever team gets the most wins at the end of the event gets bonuses. And then it says the game will have a guide character called Yumi that will introduce you to all the new modes, be a live announcer in battles, which is voice acted, kind of like the Professor in Pokemon Bank. Was the Professor voice acted in Pokemon Bank? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've been on Pokemon Bank. I'm pretty sure yeah, never mind. Switch 2 version available at launch. Will run battles at 4K 60. So yeah, that's the Champions info. It's hard to gauge whether this is the way the Champions is going to go or not, because we know so little about it, but we also know so much about it, because it is literally just a competitive game at the end of the day. It might have like a single player and all that jazz, but as of right now, we're not really, I guess, sure what other things this game is going to offer apart from just being like a competitive hub. And it's fine if it is just a competitive hub. You know, we've needed something like this. Obviously, Showdown is great. It's been around for years and years and years. But to have one with really cool animations that you can just go on your phone or on your Switch and obviously kind of battle, I think it's going to be a really good step in the right direction. And if they just keep updating it, keep adding Pokemon to it, gimmicks, yada, 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 then yeah, it's going to be around for a very long time. And like I say, it just allows them to work more on the actual games in the future, like Generation 10, for example, because they don't have to worry about the competitive. Like, you're still going to be able to battle online in Gen 10, but all your VGC competitive stuff, that's just going to all be programmed into Champions. And then, yeah, like I say, they can spend more time on the actual game itself. So, that is the Pokemon Champion stuff. Yeah, so moving on, we have Pokemon Plus and Minus is real. So this was posted, yeah, it was on the same day. It was like 20 minutes later, because this was at 3:39, this was at 3:15. I don't know who has the time to write all this, if it is true, if it is fake, but it is what it is. Anyway, it says Pokemon Plus and Minus is real. So the game will release Feb 2026. Again, I'm already very on the fence whether we even get a Generation 10 announcement next week. You know, Generation 8 got announced like 3-4 years in advance as a very slight teaser. Obviously, we didn't get names or anything like that. They just said they were working on the next kind of era of Pokemon games, and that's what they could do this time. They could show off Champions, and then they could say, yeah, we're working on the next, you know, big Pokemon game, like to celebrate the 30th anniversary or something like that. They could just tease it. I don't think they're going to show names or Pokemon or anything like that, but they will just acknowledge that it does exist, because that's not like announcing Generation 10 as a teaser like that. It just isn't going to affect the Legends EA sales at all. Legends EA is going to sell very, very well, I think. Legends Arceus did. It's the first kind of, I guess, game on the Nintendo Switch 2 in terms of Pokemon. I mean, I don't know, it's getting an enhanced version just like Scarlet and Violet did, but at the same time, it feels like it's the first proper game on the Switch 2, because obviously it's not out yet. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be fine. I think if they do a teaser, if they don't do a teaser, you know, it's not long until February anyway, which obviously will definitely get announced properly there. But either way, players who own any of the Switch games will get special event Pokemon based on the game you have saved data for. So that'd be like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, BDSP, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, yada yada. The show shiny versions of the Gen 9 legendaries as the bonuses for Scarlet and Violet save data. Again, I'm surprised we haven't had Koraidon and Miraidon yet. It's ridiculous that we haven't had these as like an event or something, and so to have to wait for Feb 2026 to get them is still a bit ridiculous. Ush Necrozma is back, shown in the Presents. Single, double, triple, and team battles available. You can host championships online or join officially hosted ones by Game Freak. I feel like that's something that should be on Pokemon Champions instead, personally. You can choose different battle music from past games, some remixes and some rearranges. You can also choose from different battle rooms. A beach, lab, forest, and snowy mountain is shown. The game will be free with the Trainer Pass. Single player story chapters and Pokemon Center store, item shop selling all kinds of customization things. And then it says the game will have some type of bonus with ZA after release. Wait, so the game will be free with the Trainer Pass. So is the Trainer Pass this? So if you buy the Trainer Pass in Champions, you get Generation 10 for free? I mean, I assume this is Gen 10. It says Pokemon Plus and Minus is... Maybe it's not Gen 10. Maybe it's just some other random game. This is actually not Gen 10. Okay, because I was going to say, like, there's no way it's going to be free. I also don't think we're going to get a free Pokemon game for having the Trainer Pass in a different Pokemon game. That just doesn't really make any sense. So that's a massive red flag that this is fake, obviously. But either way, that's the plus and minus thing. And then it goes on to say Pokemon Legends EA. So Sizzle Reel is shown, mostly footage of old trailers. So just a compact, like fast-paced trailer showing like loads of shots and stuff from previous trailers. More of the city is shown, like cafes, hotel rooms, Pokemon Center, restaurants, and parks. Very likely going to be the way that they introduce this trailer. Starters fully evolved shown. I don't know if we'd get that because they haven't even shown Bayleaf, Croconaw, and Pignite yet. So I don't think they're going to jump straight to Meganium, Emboar, and Feraligatr. Trainer customization is back, almost as robust as X and Y. How can it be almost as robust as a game that came out over 10 years ago? Surely it should be so much better. Like X and Y customization, yeah, it was good. Legends Arceus was so much better. How could it be almost as robust as X and Y? It's going to have so much more customization, obviously. Alpha Pokemon like bosses shown. These will consist of some of the new Mega Evolutions like Starmie, Dragonite, and Drampa. Mega energy is leaking from underneath the city and infecting these Pokemon, causing them to Mega Evolve without the bond of a trainer, which makes them go on a rampage, creating even more Mega Evolution energy. No one knows why this is happening or who could be behind it. Quasar is looking for the strongest trainers to help stop it. They recruit you and provide you with some Mega Stones of your own. Lysander is shown in the Quasar officers. Lysander has grey hair, a full beard, but wears a similar outfit to his X and Y outfit. The sewers are shown similar to Black and White 2, but more expansive and run through the entirety of the city, kind of like Tears of the Kingdom Underground. Tougher trainers and Pokemon stay in there, and then menus and battle music shown. So, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't sound legit. This, like, completely going against things that we kind of know. I'm just calling fake on this. It's a very big rumor. I feel like whoever made this might have a little bit too much time on their hands, but hey, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on this, though. Do you think this Presents rumor is real or not? I'm calling BS, but let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the Nintendo kind of shorter development plans? And then also, let me know your thoughts on the Mega Evolution events and then those other kind of events and stuff for various Pokemon games. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Really helps out. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.